The average man in his 50s has $46,000 saved for retirement, not $760,000. That's the real number. And here's the part that makes this genuinely disorienting. He probably earns more money right now than he ever has in his life. He owns a home, he takes vacations, his kids go to decent schools, he thinks he's fine. And that is exactly the trap. It's not being broke. It's looking fine while the hole quietly gets deeper every single month. And almost nobody sees it coming because it doesn't look like damage. It looks like success. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to see exactly which of your own decisions are doing this to you right now. Before we get into it, you need one mental model. Picture a golden anchor, gleaming, impressive, the kind of thing people notice from the dock. Your mortgage is a golden anchor. Your car lease, your club membership, your kids' tuition, your lifestyle, every one of those is a golden anchor you have dropped over the side of your own life. Anchors provide stability right up until the tide comes in. When the market drops the year you plan to retire, when the job disappears, your golden anchor does not protect you. It holds you in place while the water rises, and then it pulls you under faster than anything else could. The men who retire with real options are not the ones with the most impressive anchors. They are the ones who quietly cut a few loose while everyone else kept polishing theirs. Somewhere around 44 or 45, a quiet shift happens. You stop thinking about what you could build and start protecting what you have. It feels mature, but most men aren't protecting wealth. They're protecting the appearance of wealth, and the appearance of wealth charges rent. Let me show you this through Daniel, 48, a regional sales director earning $165,000 a year, more than his father ever made. Daniel has a $3,600 monthly mortgage payment, a $640 lease on a car he spent 2 decades earning the right to drive, a boat he uses a handful of times a year, $500 a month to finance and $85 a month to store, a club membership at $380 a month, mostly for the networking, he'll tell you. 2 kids in private school at $18,500 each per year. After taxes, Daniel takes home roughly $9,200 a month. His fixed obligations run close to $10,800 before he buys a single grocery. He isn't reckless. He is the product of 2 decades of saying yes to individually sensible things without ever once adding up what they became together. One study tracking financial stress found people earning around $170,000 a year report nearly the same stress levels as people earning $65,000. That's not because money stops mattering. It's because the ratchet clicked. The lifestyle expanded to meet the income, and both are running the same race on differently priced tracks, except the higher earner has more to lose and a life that's much harder to unwind. Here's the number that makes it real. If you redirected $650 a month, one avoidable obligation starting at 38, into a low-cost index fund earning 7% a year, by 63, you would have around $390,000, not from investing more, from buying one less anchor. That's the compound cost of a single reasonable yes you said years ago and never re-examined. Now the second trap, because this is the one that turns a manageable situation into a permanent one. It's called sequence of returns risk, and I bet fewer than 1 in 8 men watching this have actually modeled it against their own plan. Imagine you're 55 with $380,000 saved, planning to retire at 60. Markets average 7% over those years, and you arrive with roughly $530,000. Clean, predictable, exactly what the retirement calculator promised. Now imagine the market drops 32% in year 1 of your retirement instead, then recovers, and the years after average out fine on paper. You're still withdrawing your planned amount every year, selling shares at a steep discount during the exact window your money most needs to be intact to keep compounding forward. Your money runs out around year 12 instead of year 22. In 2008, retirement accounts lost a median of 34%, and the market itself recovered within about 4 years. The portfolios did not, because they were being drawn down through the entire trough. Almost none of those people saw it coming, because the average return looked fine. The order of the returns is exactly what destroyed them, and the order is exactly what almost nobody models. Let me show you this through Owen, 52, successful by any definition. Owen has $510,000 under management with an advisory firm, paying a 1.2% annual fee. In dollar terms, his statements never actually show him the difference between what he pays and what a comparable low-cost index fund would cost, compounded over 15 years, is approximately $155,000. That's a golden anchor welded onto his return rate. His advisor has never once mentioned a tax conversion strategy that could realistically save him $50,000 to $75,000 in retirement taxes, because it involves moving assets in ways that reduce what the firm manages. The incentive simply does not point in his direction. Now, three things hit men in their 50s at the same time, and almost no financial plan prices all three at once. The first is aging parents. The average man starts supporting one financially around 47. If your parent has $58,000 saved, roughly the generational median, you have 9 to 12 months before the bill lands on you personally, every month, indefinitely. Owen's mother needed memory care last year, $5,300 a month. She had $72,000 saved. Owen now covers $2,500 a month out of his own pocket, another anchor nobody put in his plan. The second is adult children, specifically launching them. A 4-year private education now runs close to $52,000 a year, around $208,000 total. Two kids a couple years apart can mean $340,000 in spending over 6 years, coming straight from current income, home equity, or retirement savings. The third is late divorce. Divorce after 50 has risen sharply since the 1990s and now accounts for nearly 1 in 5 divorces. At 34, you divide what you've started to build. At 53, you divide everything you spent your entire adult life building. And the average documented net worth loss for men is around 65%. In a single proceeding, during a period when your judgment is at its worst. Owen, by the way, is currently separated. So now you have Owen at 52. Advisory fees quietly compounding against him. Sequence risk unmodeled, $2,500 a month to his mother's care. His eldest starting college soon. A divorce proceeding about to split what's left down the middle. This is not a dramatic story. This is what happens when normal-looking decisions stack up without anyone doing the math on all of them at once. Advisors are excellent at optimizing pieces, allocation, fees, rebalancing. They are rarely built to step back and say your burn rate is unsustainable and your plan has no protection against any of this. That conversation doesn't happen because it might shrink what they manage. Here's the fourth trap, the one nobody wants to look at directly. By 50, you have a fully developed identity, and social weight is one of the most expensive things you will ever maintain. The neighborhood, the car, the school, the watch, everyone is a fee you pay to maintain the signal. And there is no disclosure document for this one. Two men graduated the same year. Both went into finance. Both earned around $190,000 a year by 50. The first, call him Victor, maintained a prestige footprint, the right suburb, private school, a family trip running $10,000 to $13,000 a year, and quietly drew on a credit line to close the gap between income and lifestyle he hadn't really acknowledged existed. At 50, Victor had $360,000 in retirement accounts and $195,000 in home equity. His actual liquid net worth was around $98,000. A second man, call him Derek, drove a used car he owned outright, lived in a good school district instead of the best one, took one trip every 2 years, and invested $700 a month into a simple index portfolio from 38 onward. At 52, Derek had $1.02 million across accounts, his mortgage over half paid down, and a liquid net worth near $810,000. Same income, same decade. One bought approval, the other bought options. Victor knows exactly what happened. He just couldn't stop while it was happening because every individual decision felt reasonable in the moment. That is not weakness. That is how the trap is built. The signal is invisible until you calculate it, and by then you've been paying it for 20 years. Let me make the compound cost unavoidable. Two men, both 50, earning $155,000 a year. One has fixed obligations of $9,500 a month, takes home $8,500, and is already in deficit before groceries. The other has a burn rate of $5,200 a month and saves $3,300. Over 15 years at 7%. The first accumulates around $120,000 if he saves anything at all. The second accumulates approximately $970,000. Same income, same market, same years. 8 times the outcome, and the only variable is the burn rate. The second man can retire with real income and real choices. The first works well past 65, cuts everything he spent 20 years building, or runs out of money in his early 70s. Owen settled his divorce 8 months ago. He went from 510,000 to roughly 245,000 in investable assets at 53. Here's the part that matters most. He moved to a smaller apartment, cut his fixed obligations from 8,200 a month down to 3,500, switched to a simple low-cost index portfolio, and started converting $34,000 last year to take advantage of a lower tax bracket during the transition. He won, retire at 60. He might retire at 66, but he is not going under. He cut the anchor. It was painful. He did it anyway. So here is exactly what to do, and I mean this week, not next month. First, calculate your own burn rate. Every fixed obligation added together, mortgage, lease, tuition, dues, subscriptions you can cancel with one phone call. If it exceeds 60% of your take-home income, that is not a discipline problem. It is a structural one, and you already know which anchor has to go. Second, stress test your retirement number against a market drop in the first 2 years, not a straight line average. If your plan only survives a positive projection, it isn't a plan. Third, audit every fee in your financial life. If your total annual cost of investing exceeds 35%, you are overpaying. And on a mid-sized portfolio compounded over 15 years, that gap alone can be well over $130,000, leaving quietly, in numbers, too small to ever trigger an emotional response. The men who arrive at 60 with real options were never the ones who earned the most. They were the ones who calculated the burn rate, identified the anchors, and cut a few loose before the tide came in, not because they were smarter. Because every anchor felt like an achievement when they dropped it, and achievements are extraordinarily hard to reclassify as liabilities. Lazy investing has built more wealth than clever investing ever did. Low fees and automatic contributions doing nothing impressive for 30 years. It doesn't make a good story at dinner. It just works. The window between where you are and the decade ahead is not as large as it feels, but it is real, and it is yours. The one is you.